YouTube is about to go back on too. All right, Brother Sean. So, Brother Sean will get back in the queue in a minute. All right, so it is what it is. Okay, so I was going to try to respond to what he was saying before we got rudely interrupted. But all I was going to say was that the frequency of the planet is even going to go higher than the 5G. I have said this consistently. They cannot build equipment fast enough to keep up with Mama Earth. And that's why I keep consistently also saying that you have to personally match your vibration, because as her frequency is rising, her Schumann resonance, that is her vibration that is rising. Their 5G ain't got shit on her. Okay? So therefore, if her vibration is rising, yours is supposed to be rising with her. So all of the energy that is hitting the planet is giving you a natural upgrade as well. Okay? So, yes, 5G, absolutely, I hear what y'all saying, yada, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'm going to tell you again, that is no match for Mother Earth Schumann resonance. So if you can't handle the 5G, that means you can't handle Mama raising up her Schumann, well, they named it Schumann resonance. You can't match her vibration. So when they talk about the harmfulness of 5G, who's that applying to? Is that applying to you? Or is that applying to people that cannot raise their vibration? I'm going to say again, they cannot build equipment fast enough to keep up with her Schumann resonance or her vibration. Matter of fact, they're saying that China is working on 6G. That still ain't matching the way her vibration is raising. This is a galactic shift which has accelerated everything. So, yes, they are raising it to 5G, trying to go to 6G, all of that jazz. Okay? Mainly, they're trying to do it to have their equipment, so meaning their virtual reality stuff, have their networks handle the virtual reality stuff, and to try to keep up with Mama Earth. And I'm telling you, they can't do it. They can't do it. 5G ain't just came online, family. They've been testing 5G for years. And they barely got it working. That shit ain't stable like they think it is. It's just not. They just really got 5G stable this year. They've been testing 5G for 3 years. I'm not telling you nothing that I heard, I know for a fact, because I look at my wireless connections. And I'm telling you, 5G just started working. And they had to come out to my crib personally to see why the fuck my shit don't consistently exactly work. And I just kind of chuckle and laugh like, oh, okay then. So I'm going to say again, I'm not disputing 5G, none of that. What I am saying to you is the planet's vibration, her human resonance is much higher than any technology they could come out with. She is rising. Your vibratory hertz is supposed to be rising as well. But if you keep yourself in a state of fear, if you keep yourself in a state of what somebody gonna do to you, if you keep yourself at they instead of you, and what you want, how are you supposed to rise? How are you supposed to tune in to the natural vibratory frequency of the planet? Because if you are in tune naturally with Mother Earth's vibratory frequency, what they're talking about, that shit don't matter. So it's just something to keep into perspective. And I know a lot of people are talking about 5G, but I have been consistent, and I'm going to stay consistent with it is deeper than that. They are trying to keep up with her. They are putting those extra gigahertz or whatever to try to bring their little raglass equipment online to create something virtual that you, as a divine being, because of your hertz frequency, can fucking do automatically. You can automatically astral travel to realms. Automatically, you can do that. You don't need no special equipment to do that. You just fucking lay down what you say, you go to sleep, and your frequency know how to tune in to go where the fuck you need to go. So I ask, who's more powerful? Them or you? Anything they do on mama, they're imitating and mimicking you, and they're doing a piss poor job at it. And as long as you keep giving the power to them and not giving and honoring your own power, you're missing the opportunity. You are missing the opportunity to rise higher, to create your reality. This is your shit. You have to tap into the energy, the higher frequencies, to create the reality that you want. You run this. You run it with your emotions, your thoughts, your actions, which drives your vibration. So that's why me personally, I never got on that 5G track, because I already knew out the gate what time it was. I already knew. Just naturally being in tech, I see everything that they do in technology is mirroring me as a divine being. Everything that they do in technology, they're trying to mimic fucking me. So, all right, that's my spin on it. All right, so hopefully Brother Sean can make it back. Sis, you can put something on it, or you don't have to put nothing on it. Otherwise.
Well, they were already talking about it on the internet and the news that it was conspiracy stuff, and they resented somebody, I forget who it was, from talking about 5G and what is to do with the COVID and all that kind of stuff. But basically what, 532, 1 minute, 832.
832, brother, 832,
Yeah, what he was saying is it's frying the oxygen molecule and splitting it apart, actually. And so they don't want that to be told because it's verifiable. I had listened to a scientist already had spoken to it like two weeks or so ago, and I had brought it up when this stuff first came out, and so that's all it is. They just don't want anybody to, knock their technology, I guess, or tell the truth so people can understand what's really happening to them. They work on that fear. That's basically, they like that.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that's really what it's about. They work on the fear, because the things that are floating around about, what they're quote, quote, trying to do, and which I'm not even disputing that if that's indeed what they're trying to do, who is it ultimately going to impact? Either you resonating with the planet or you ain't.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't hard. We don't have to make it hard. Either you resonating with the planet or you ain't. Either you're supposed to be here or you ain't. Either you can survive the UV radiation or you can't. It is what it is. And like I say, she makes the final decision. The planet makes the final decision.
That's true.
So at this point, folks just playing, as far as I'm concerned. All they little technology and stuff, that stuff is for play. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they was all that in a bag of chips, they can't stop them motherfucking poles from shifting. They ain't stopped near comet from coming through here. And from the looks of it, they ain't stopped near ships from flying in the atmosphere.
Space war. Mm-hmm.
They can't block no portals, because I believe they're coming through via the portals.
Yeah.
So they're doing what to whom? Everything they do backfires. And that's how it's supposed to be. Use this as an opportunity to tune in. You have to create your own reality. You can only rely on you. That's why way back when I started talking about sweep around your own doorstep. Break your own generational curses. Because every time we look outside of self, what somebody supposedly and allegedly going to do for you, or what somebody supposedly and allegedly going to do to you, you essentially take away your power and put it in somebody else's hand. You are tuning into their frequency. So now you are on their program. It's just that simple. What program do you want to tap into? Now, the good thing is that we have a lot of information at hand. The flip side of that is there's a lot of information at hand. So that's why it's even more important to tune in and use your discernment. Use your discernment. Nothing that they can allegedly do to you at this point is going to matter, and they really can't. They can't. They are more afraid of you.
Well, they must be, because they keep disconnecting you when he starts talking. They don't want that knowledge out of there. They don't think we read books. They don't think we have any scientific minds or nothing, obviously, because if we don't get it, somebody else is going to get it out there. But I guess they want to delay it as much as they can. But
right, and I mean, it is what it is. I'm sorry, go ahead, sis.
There are key words that they monitor for. And,
absolutely. It's an algorithm. It's a computer program. It's a computer program. That's why sometimes when Brother Sean be talking, I'm like, don't say the word. I don't feel like fucking starting his feed up again.
Yeah, because you say a word, they got you on the watch list. And like they just
well, I mean, you're already on the watch list by default. If you talk about certain information, but at the end of the day, who really gives a fuck? It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It most certainly is what it is. So I'm not concerned about that. It's an inconvenience to have to restart the shit over. That's all I'm saying. It'd be pissing me off. But it is what it is. But the important thing I'm trying to get is that, we bring a lot of this stuff into fruition. We bring a lot of it into fruition by the level of information that we're taking in.
Right. It interferes with your rest, too, when you become a sieve for all this stuff you hear and all this corona stuff on the internet, I have to kind of like desensitize myself because.
Oh yeah, you do. You have to take a step back and be like, you know what? I'm not taking all this stuff in. I have to keep myself healthy.
Exactly.
I come first. Bottom line, I don't give a fuck about Q, do, elemental P, none of that bullshit. I come first. I'm creating my current and my future. Because otherwise, it's just a continuous program. Just like we talked about last week with Neo. I know I keep going back to the Matrix. Once he unplugged the plug from the back of his double obligaten, and he was quote quote awake. So at that point he became a 5%, but then he jumped into a program of fighting. So that's all I'm saying, family. I'm saying take this opportunity. What you are witnessing is huge. And for the mere fact that you get it, that shit is huge. Use it to your advantage. Sit back and watch the show. Because eventually, all of these programs that they run, that shit always reveals itself.
Right, somebody's gonna get it.
Because the truth is the highest vibration.
Right.
And you can't mix the truth and a lie. That's not the total truth.
You know what really bothers me about this self-distancing is people, even couples, are not wanting to be with each other. I'm like, what? That is the craziest stuff I've ever heard. I mean, is that so much fear that the people that internalize the fact?
Shame on them. Shame on them.
Isn't that crazy?
Shame on them.
I know.
That's all I can say. Shame on them. It is what it is.
I think so too.
It is what it is. Now they got people so confused. Now all of a sudden I see you 646, sweetie pie. I'm coming to you. Now all of a sudden it's a rush to open back up the economy, despite the curve not flattening out. I'm like, oh, okay then.
I saw an article about Fauci talking about getting a chance to see some sports. I said, sports? That's important? Oh, interesting.
It's bullshit because
it is.
It's to keep the matrix going. Literally, to keep the matrix going. Because at least when folks was at the crib, or while we are at the crib,
watching.
Shout out to a lot of people because they're connecting with their children. They're enjoying being with their children, homeschooling their children. People are gardening in the yard. People walking in the park when they can with their babies. It's a lot of good things that's going on.
Exactly.
So when people, wait a minute, you mean mothers are connecting with their children? They're bonding with their children. They're teaching their children. Fathers are bonding with their children, teaching their children. What? You mean to tell me people are starting to get back into gardening so much? A lot of the fucking seed companies are sold out of seeds for the rest of the goddamn year. What?
Hey, they raising chickens too.
You mean they're connecting with the earth?
Yeah, they raising chickens too. That's so funny. So maybe that'll get us out of the processing loop of distant countries doing it for us, and we do our own stuff. That's what we should have done in the first place.
I cannot make this stuff up. 1 month before this stuff jumped off, a coworker of mine on the side, him and his wife have a lot of land, and they do farming, but they were selling some of their stuff at the farmers market. And I mean, they deep with it. They got maple trees that they get the syrup from, all that jazz. They cold with their stuff. So he was on Twitter, and he was like, wow, wouldn't this be so nice if folks started supporting the small farmers, their local farmers? We could really change the world. Now, I'm not a Twitter person. I don't have time to keep up with all these platforms. Facebook, I'm one step of giving that motherfucker the finger because I just don't have the patience for this bullshit no more. So anyhow, because he knows I garden, and so he told me, he said, do you know I had to delete that Twitter? I don't know if he deleted it or turned it off. Again, I'm not a Twitter person, so I don't know which one is correct. I said, what happened? And he told me what he posted. I said, so what's the problem with that? He said, I got so much hate spewed at me.
Really?
What do you mean? We got to have a food supply. What are you talking about? That's not possible. I said, you're kidding me, right?
Really?
He said, no. And so a coworker of ours, and I said to him, I said, I tell you what, they could talk that crap if they want to, but if something jump off, they not going to eat, but I'm going to eat. I know how to plant. Is your family going to eat? He said, absolutely, we know how to plant. I said, that's what I thought. I said, they're going to learn. I bullshit you not. Now, this him and I, man, in our so-and-so business, because we're both gardeners. And he deeper into it than me because he has a big family. Another coworker, well, what do you all mean? The food supply needs to be fixed and all of the corruption and all of the impurities. I said, what do you mean? What do we mean? And what part did you not understand what I said? I said, I'm going to be able to eat. I know how to go out in the backyard and plant something. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, well, you don't have to know what I'm talking about. Well, you know, as you sit there and eat your GMO peanut butter, I said, whether or not it's GMO or not, I know how to plant and get stuff out of the ground. Do you? She was fired up at me. Didn't give a shit. Number one, mind your motherfucking business. 1 month later, Rona jumps off. You should have saw people scrambling like a motherfucker. I don't have toilet paper. What I'm going to do with child care. Woo, woo, woo. I don't have enough groceries. My coworker now, we sit back filing our motherfucking nails. And then they looked at us. We know y'all stocked up. Yeah, again, I have seeds. I know how to plant.
And that's
so the co-worker, after that, now she's getting into gardening. Now she said, I see what you all was talking about. Woo, 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 woo. So my point being, this shutdown has been a fucking huge awakening for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Do not think that it hasn't. It's been a huge awakening of the dependency that people have on this system for just to survive, meaning your fucking food, basic necessities.
That's true.
The toilet paper to wipe your ass.
That was so funny. I was like, what are they doing it for? They even telling them how to clean their house. I said, don't people know how to clean their house? What is wrong with them people?
The point being, sis, people got a huge wake-up call.
Yeah, they did.
How we are not taking care of self. And I have never known, all the years that I've gardened, seed stores selling the fuck out for the rest of the year.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
One of the popular organic seed places. I had already had enough seeds, but I wanted some extra ones. I wanted these certain types of beans, so I went in January and bought up a bunch of beans or whatever. Shit. Folks all on Facebook, we went to that seed site. They said they sold out for the rest of the year. I said, what?
Oh.
Yeah. So all of us that...
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
For them to get seeds.
I'm finna sip my motherfucking water. Say, so you said it, I didn't. How many years did I say get you some motherfucking seeds? How many years did I say if you're buying organic, save your motherfucking seeds?
That's right. When you plant and
I'll sip water.
Mm-hmm. Save the seeds out of what you grow.
Sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not saying you can't go to other places to get them. But like the really good heirloom stuff, that shit is sold the fuck out for the rest of the year. And somebody said they called the seed place, and this place is really popular among avid gardeners. And they said overnight their sales went up 700%. 700%. So sure, they're scrambling to start back up the quote, quote, economy. The real reason they, quote, quote, scrambling to start that bitch up, because people are really connecting the dots. saying this is some bullshit.
Yeah, they've been brainwashed.
I don't want to be exactly. I don't want to be put in this position. This is some bullshit.
Yeah, you are in a bad position because you can't eat, you can't live.
And when you are doing those things, putting your hand in the soil, connecting with them seeds and them plants, you are connecting to the vibration of the planet. Sure, them bitches want to open it up now. Sure, they want that economy to come back online and want them sports to come back online to put people back in a fucking trance.
Exactly, that's right. Because they don't pay attention to what's happening around them if they are in a trance. I mean, an alien from one of those spacecraft, I bet half the people on the planet don't even know they're up there, that they didn't come through, and there's thousands of them, literally thousands of them done come through, and I bet they don't even know.
Absolutely, because if you're putting your hands in the dirt, you're getting the sunshine. You're out of the rigmarole, being around all them fucking people with their fucked up vibrational energy, hitting your vibrational energy, trying to cipher your good vibrational energy.
Mm-hmm.
You just with you and your family, your hands in the dirt, the sun rays hitting your motherfucking face, taking in the light codes. People are going to wake up real quick, real fucking fast.
And not only
that's what started happening.
For waking up, that sun is going to kill a virus even if it's on your clothes because it's not going to deal with that sunlight.
Absolutely.
They don't want you out there. They want you emaciated in the house, going pale, and then weakening your D3s in your body. So,
right, but again, no, they did it to themselves because even with Rona, with them wanting people to be in the house and social distancing, all that shit, all of it still backfired. It doesn't matter. The point being, it backfired.
Yes.
Because people were able to connect with self. What we've been saying on this show for fucking 5 years. Able to connect with self. Able to connect with nature. And don't think they don't know these things because they can monitor the vibrations. And the more and more people start connecting with Mother Earth's Schumann resonance, the quicker she moving. So yeah, them bitches scrambling trying to get people to go back to work. But I'm going to tell you something. They fucked up. They fucked up. It'll never be the same. There is no going back. There is no going back to normal. Everything that, quote, quote, they try to do, that shit gonna be reversed up. This shit, it's over with. It's been over with. We're living in the past. This shit been over with.
Oh, life support.
Indeed. All right, 646, I'm coming to you, but let me bring back on Brother Sean. I see him in the queue. Peace and love, brother.
Hey, sis. I don't know what's going on.
Child. You had a hard time getting back in because I didn't see you.
Yeah, and then it starts. I'm on call again, and then the phone started ringing.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Of course.
Double whammy.
Of course. Of course. Of course. I'm going to bring on 646. He's been holding in the queue for a little bit, so let me bring him on. 646, brother, your line is open.
Thank you so much. Peace and love to you, Rhonda. How are you?
I'm good. Peace and love, brother. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. Peace and love to you, Sister Sandra.
Peace and love to you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace and love, Brother Sean. I wasn't sure you were on. I tell you, the vibrations is so great that, while I was thinking about it, that's when Sister Rhonda said, let me bring Brother Sean back on. I said, wow. Peace and love to you, my brother.
Wholeness and power.
Yes. Peace and love to the family. It's so interesting. The last thing I remembered was 832 was on, and I had went into some type of nap, and I woke up and I got silence here. I'm saying, wait a minute, what's going on? So I didn't even know they shut you down. I thought it was just my phone. But anyway, nope. And I keep coming in on some interesting notes too, especially with that seed thing. But yeah, the wake up is on and it can't be turned back. It's so strange though that it's all bringing out exactly how backwards we have been, and we still have some more backwardness to witness. That's being changed around too. Now, I'm near like a project setting, but they have the green grass ways here, there, and everywhere, the little spots. And I'm looking on the ground, and I was so glad to see this certain type of glowing flower that I never saw. And along with I'm not sure if it was sunflower or they look more like dandelions because sunflowers are pretty wide. So I think it was dandelions growing. And I always know that Mother Earth puts near where it's needed those things that you will need to protect yourself.
Yep.
That's how she does it. She works very well with her children and her planet. And I saw these plants growing, even though they call it weed, but we gotta watch them because everything they say is not good. There must be a trick to it. They just don't understand it or something, or they don't want you to know.
Right.
And lo and behold, less than a half an hour later, I come back around and I see this. I don't want to be, rude about it, but I see this worker, I'll say, driving this big truck to mow all these plants down, mow them down, cut them all out, down to the grass of it. And I said, damn, they nuts. They just don't know. But intuitively, I knew when I looked at them. And just to, even jump back to from the beginning of the show when Sister Sandra was talking about the UFOs. Now, I don't know if y'all covered it, but see, X-File really brought that out. To show you that the UFOs were not UFOs, they were reconstituted machinery of the UFOs, but they were snatching up bodies under their program.
Right. What do you call it? Reverse engineering. Yes.
And using that machinery and acting like UFOs were snatching up people. And the people who they snatched up really thought they were UFOs, but they were unconscious, the same way they put you in a hospital when they want to do all types of fuckery to you. But, so I wanted just to throw that out there, as a reminder, because one of the things is that if, in fact, there is some help coming from, other more intelligent beings, and just the way we know the sun rays and the comets and all those things really bring good things. May seem bad, may appear bad, but what could be worse than what the hell they've been doing? And if we start getting afraid of that whole idea, we might mix the two things up and be fighting against ourselves. But, our awakening is not going to really allow us to go too far against ourselves.
Right.
But the other thing is that when you mentioned, Rhonda, about the comet and the tail and the dust and the colors, I said, wait a minute. Do you know I was looking into the sun, because I do this ritual every day where I peep the sun, even if it's not out there, even if it's raining, and I notice that the sun starts speaking out too. But, I have this affirmation, and I look to the sky with it for the sun, and today, as I was looking, the sun was, it brightens, then I can see about 3 of them, and then the ray brightens. It seemed like it's special transmission coming to me, and then I'll close my eyes while I'm looking into it. And today, I see this. It starts out with a round green shape expanding, and then in the middle of it, a blue form starts, and lo and behold, it turned out to be a blue thick arrow pointing downward, circled around by the green light. And I'm saying, wow. This stuff is, I tell you, you can't make it up.
No, you can't make it up. And it just kept sticking with me every morning when I see that green hue on the horizon. I'm like, well, I already know that's Comet Atlas dust, but it's got to be something with this. So, yeah, no, none of that's coincidence. And, then Brother Remedy, like I said, put out a video about the green dust yesterday, the same day that I was thinking about the dust. And none of that's coincidence. That's tapping into the energy. That's what we're talking about when you're tapping into the energy and you're getting these particular messages. This is exactly what we're talking about.
Yes.
That doesn't surprise me, brother.
And then now, just back to the folks who think they did something and finding out that they done it to themselves. What they really are beginning to get upset about is the fact that all the trust that people had in them is fading away.
Yep. It's a wrap. Absolutely.
Yeah. They used up all their credit, so they bankrupt in every way.
Yeah. Yeah. And at this point, I strongly believe that they didn't have no choice but to pull out all the last stops. They really didn't have a choice, because they proved that they little food system is vulnerable. The economy always been a joke, but it's damn sure a joke now, because you mean to tell me that they tell the average person to have at least 90 days worth of savings, and corporations can't survive a month?
A week?
Exactly. A week? And folks had to wait how many weeks to get that little $1,200? And I heard today that the small business loans, they didn't ran out of that fund. And most people didn't that. So, yeah, they all of their, quote, quote, trust, they, like you said, They burnt all of that up. And you know why they burnt it up? Because the people are the ones that keep it going with your energy. We have just proven that their system cannot stand without your energy. It has just been proven.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Hey, sis.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bert. Yes, sir.
But ain't that what we've been saying all along, to just stop?
Child.
That everybody stopped on their terms. And you stopped on your own terms instead of their terms.
Yep.
As you see, it don't take long at all.
It didn't take long at all.
That's just like when employees go on strike. Every minute that those employees are on strike is costing their business money.
Yep.
And then on top of all that, somebody done the math as far as for what was allotted for people. And according to the numbers that they used, everybody was actually supposed to have been getting a check that was $6,660, them 3 6s. But they giving everybody $1,200. What happened to the other $5,400?
Child.
And each governor is responsible for doling out the funds in their state. So they didn't pocket it the rest of that money. And this is the system that people are still believing in. We're in a time of a quote-unquote pandemic. And they still not trying to help everybody.
No, still not.
If you owe child support, they ain't fucking with you. They could be taking it out your check already. They could be taking your tax refund, and they still not gonna give you back. But this the system y'all want, and what they say: student loans, you good, and if you owe the IRS, you good. But those are the only two that's quote unquote close to being legal. Child support is fraud, period. It was never enacted into positive law.
Right.
And they just gonna bash you over your head about that. They ain't trying to help you. And they ain't giving the money that was supposed to go to the people of child support to the mothers.
Yep.
They just keeping that.
Yeah, because they got their processing fee to collect, right? And if she getting any type of aid, that's the wrap for that.
Exactly. And most public officials get paid off of the money that's made through child support. So you know they ain't trying to cut that out.
No, because they literally have funds set up to get a percentage off of that stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And the woman has to pay a certain amount every year. So they making money hand over fist with that. And ain't nobody said nothing about how people being raped with that. Nasera, Jacera, Trump, I don't care what name you call. Ain't nobody said nothing about that type of rape. And ain't none of them said nothing about the indigenous people.
Purple Pill said they throwing y'all some table scraps, a few bones, crumbs.
Exactly.
To keep the enslaved from bum rushing the system. Absolutely, Purple.
Yeah, but you see all these people, even on Facebook, people crying about not having got their stimulus check, this, that, or the other. But y'all hate this man so much. Why do y'all want anything from him?
Exactly.
First thing people got to hollering was, oh, he just trying to buy a vote. My vote ain't for sale. Ain't it? Didn't you accept it?
Right.
When I don't fuck with somebody, I don't accept shit from your ass. I don't want nothing from you.
Exactly. Because I know it's a catch-2. It's like, nah, I'm good. I know you don't even rock with me like that.
I don't get shit from the government. Nothing. I don't ask
I'm
them
with
bitches
you.
for shit. I don't want shit from them.
They ain't going to give you shit.
Right. I get out here and do what I need to do to make shit happen for me and mine. Fuck them.
Right.
But as long as our people depend on that system, it's going to be some type of system around. And then going back to the whole thing with the charters that we was talking about, you know, people wondering about that presidential seal. It's going to be some type of new seal that they going to break out after he win in 2020.
Yep, because he going to win. Right.
Because it's always been... They said back in the charter that they could switch the seal up any goddamn time they got ready.
Yes, they did. Yep.
That old seal is associated with too much negative karma.
So seal is sigil. Sigil is different angles or system or symbols is what I'm trying to say, mixed with sometimes sacred geometry to create a type of associated energy. So yes, absolutely agree with you, Brother Sean. And we said this years ago on this program. I specifically remember 2 years ago saying to one of the guests, I'm not going to point the person out, but I said, oh, yeah, it's going to be people that's going to re-sign up to the new system because y'all not done with that. But it's going to be other people that mean what the fuck they mean. It's deuces. We done with all of that. So I'm telling you all, a huge awakening happened when they shut it down. And those that were screaming, still swinging on the government's tit, you get what you get. Literally, you get what you get. And those that took the opportunity to see, oh, hell no, you means to tell me I was that dependent on them? I got to make some big changes. Their life will never be the same. And it will be all for the better. They have essentially broken that dependency spell. So it is what it is. And who was that? I think I left. Who said that it's nothing but spell contracts? Damn, I just saw it. Yeah. Oh, that was Scotty Saturn. Witchcraft, spell contracts. Absolutely. Instead of people looking at this like we just said, all of this is a huge awakening that people should be using as an opportunity to flip the script for self. So this ain't hard. We ain't got to overanalyze it, none of that. Either you going to do for self or you ain't. And if you ain't, quite frankly, you really don't have a complaint. I mean, really. If somebody has shown you over and over again what your value is to them, and you're not getting out of it what you need to get out of it, but you still keep depending on that something or somebody, then in essence you get what you get. Where's the motherfucking complaint? Unless maybe I'm looking at it wrong. And please, y'all, point it out to a sister if I'm looking at the shit wrong. I don't mind being wrong. Trust me. I'm mature enough to say when I'm wrong, but that just does not sound logical to me. You gonna try to make somebody do some shit for you that they ain't finna fucking do. That's like a woman chasing after a man he done told you he don't want your motherfucking ass. I don't want you. I ain't rocking with you like that. Yeah, I'll sex you down. I'm take your money, whatever, and you still gonna chase after the man? So now you upset because he treats you like shit because what? I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. This shit ain't hard. I don't care what program they try to institute and bring online. Keep it simple. Keep this stuff simple. What is more important? You are the key to this equation. You have really just proven within what's this, the fourth week of this shutdown? You have proven in 4-5 weeks that you the motherfucking key to keep it running. So now who doing what to whom? And who really has the power? So it is what it is. All right, brother 646. Go ahead.
All right,
you had something else you want to put on?
Thank you.
Indeed.
I do thank you for, and keep up the great work. Cause hey, somebody got to stand up there and shout to help keep waking them up, because they're not fully awake yet, but they're getting there.
Yeah, folks are. Yeah, peace and love. Peace and love, brother. Great to hear your voice. Yeah, those that are meant to get it. And those that get it, just, stay focused. Stay focused. It took a lot for you to get to this point where you are. You hold the power. And who said Deep H2O? What you say, baby, about somebody said something about, what's the most powerful card in spades? Trump card, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, family. And when we get into the next series, we're going to talk about programming, transhumanism. We're going to get a lot into vibration and how far back this stuff really goes. It is what it is. It really, really is. Those of you that, again, have studied this stuff, you're awakened, just my advice to you, and of course you don't have to take it at all, stay focused on self. Stay focused on self. Stay focused on your family, your loved ones. Staying in tune with the universe, with Mother Earth. The animals were so happy that humans have they motherfucking funk ass in the house. Pay attention to those things. Pay attention to how destructive that unnatural system, which we get on here week after week after week after week after week, and tell you how unnatural it is, and week after week after week after week, and tell you how it will always fall. This should be a huge awakening for everyone on the planet. All right, so we're going to go to Anonymous, and then I see you 310. All right. Anonymous, your line is open.
Peace, Miss Goddesses and God.
Peace, beloved.
I'm sorry about the anonymous. I tried to get that number straightened out for years, and they claim they couldn't never get it straightened out, so it's nothing I'm hiding.
That's okay, baby. That's okay. That's okay. It's all good.
Yeah. I wanted to get on that stimulus thing. Like Sean was saying, it's nothing but a distraction, and it's nothing but a character that's on a hook. Now, all they did is we know they don't have nothing. They don't have no funds. They don't have nothing. So how all of a sudden they're appropriating all these funds to give these people? Well, it's all an illusion. They're creating it out of thin air, and they're allocating it to the people through their system. Now, the people are taking it because the key word is they got to pay it back. Okay, now when you pay it back, they're getting something in their hands that they didn't have. So it's all a trick, and folks ain't figuring it out. Like you said, leave that system alone and get on your own square, because everything they're doing is nothing but a trick to bring you back in. Leave them contracts alone.
Right, and people will cuss you plumb the F out when you tell them, well, you have to pay that back. It's just an advance on your tax return. What you talking about? What you talking about? What you done? No, you don't. I personally haven't said it, but I've seen other people, dropping the evidence. What you talking about? Like, baby, go and let them enjoy that little $1,200. That's how much, it is to you. Do you, boo. But even, here's my thing, though, brother, to be real on the real. Even if folks take the $1,200, at least at a minimum, enter and understand what the intent is and reverse and put your intent on it. But people ain't even doing that.
No, it's real sad. We have a lot of people still haven't waking up yet. They, like you said, they're still waiting on, as Sean say, the sky daddy.
Yep.
And it's real sad. And I said, I don't see what people don't see about this. These people don't have no funds. They're creating that stuff out of thin air to get something back from you. Get your energy back from you.
Get your energy, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now that they didn't disperse little funky $1,200, now they want to rush our asses back to work.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get back out to queue. I just wanted to make that comment. I wanted to get back out to queue. I mean, I be listening and all, and I'm awake and all, but I just be listening, and I just had to bring that in. And
yes, thank you so much.
And I appreciate you letting me in.
Yes, indeed. Don't be a stranger. Come back in the queue for sure, brother.
Indeed, bro.
Peace and love.
Peace, family.
All right, peace.
I didn't know that.
I'm coming to you, 310, sweetie, just a second. Sorry. Go ahead, Brother Sean.
Yeah, they want people to get back to work so that you could start paying taxes again, so that you could build up something for next year so they could take it. They ain't just going to let you sit at home forever and not make no money for them to take. That ain't the plan. You got to get something back. He planned on bringing all these jobs back and everything. He planned on putting you niggas to work.
Right. Right. And quite frankly, y'all need to be encouraging. UV radiation, comet, go on, goddamn it, Mama Earth, come on. Raise, damn it, raise shit. You need to be encouraging her to raise. To shut that shit all the way the fuck down. That's what you need to be focused on. Raise, Mama Earth, raise, keep rising. That's what you should be focusing on. So, very good point, Brother Sean. Sis, you had something to put on it?
Oh, I didn't. The gentleman that said that, I just found out just before I got on the show that people have to pay the money back. I haven't even been looking at it. I didn't really care. I said, they give me all these links to check for it. I haven't looked at nothing. And I didn't know they were going to have to pay it back. That's not giving you anything. And then you got to file taxes by July the 15th.
Child. And remember when we talked about that they borrowed from they boys them the F and the R, okay? 832, that's why my shit keep getting shut down, because you keep wanting to bring up FR in them. But I think they got you tagged. Specifically, when your voice come across that algorithm, there he go. But anyhow, F and R, they boys now. Told the public that they borrowed $2 trillion and the shit wind up being $6 trillion. And I told y'all way back then that the math didn't add up. You means to tell me you gonna give folks $1,200 one-time payment? Because I thought at first they was just gonna keep it going. You finna give them $1,200 that they got to pay back out of $6 trillion? Yeah, they want y'all to go back to work. Because you got to pay FR and them back that motherfucking $6 trillion.
It really would have been much simpler if people demanded that all debt just be discharged.
I said that, Brother Sean, back in 2008 when that shit crashed.
Mm-hmm.
And they went and borrowed some change back then. I said, scratch the head. Wouldn't it just be simple to cancel out all debt?
Mm-hmm.
At a minimum, since this is a housing crisis, why isn't everybody's mortgage just paid off? I said that way back then.
Yeah, but some people got to get out of the houses that they in. They ain't supposed to be in them to begin with. But that's a different story.
Yeah, that's a different story. But the point being, your point is very well taken, because my thing is, Brother Sean, we consistently keep telling the family they run the same script. It's the same fucking script. They don't change the script. They change the players. They may switch up some names within the scripts or the script. It's the same script, and people be mesmerized with the spell. So this bitch shut down, and they keep anteing up, and they're anteing it up because they're requiring more energy to keep up with mother's rising energy. And like I said, and I'll say again, they'll never be able to match it. And folks still falling for the spell. Falling for the spell. But again, 95%, we enter and understand that. It is what it is. I'm talking about you 5%ers. Because there's still some 5%ers that'll cut your motherfucking throat, baby. When you tell them, don't get comfortable with no motherfucking monetary reset. They will cut your throat. Not throat. Throat. So I'm sorry, sis, go ahead. You have something you wanted to put on it before I bring on 3-1 on.
The F and R, they finally said it's one unit. It used to be this and that, you know. But now it's one unit. They just put out that video, that Black Rock. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Brought up all the bonds and the student loans.
Which is debt.
Yeah, they
which
bought
is
them.
debt.
Mm-hmm, they bought them. And they also bought the mortgages. I think they're in the process of getting those too. Now, before in 2008, they paid them money. This government did. This time is a little bit reversed, as I can see it.
Yeah, and I saw, and damn, I wish I would have snagged it. where they said F&R, they're buying up a couple of $1 trillion worth of debt a week.
A week, yeah, exactly.
A week.
It's not bailout anymore. They're buying the debt. So I'm like,
So the price tag is higher than the $6 trillion. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's really higher than the $6 trillion, but folk want to jump up and down over 1,200.
But then that puts this system out of business.
Yeah, but
because
that's
they don't
the whole
have
plan.
enough. Huh?
Yeah, exactly,
that's
Brother
the
Shaq.
whole plan to go back to the gold-backed currency. They want people to think that the system. Yeah, they want them to think that it's real because it's quote unquote backed by gold.
Backed by gold. Thank you, Brother Sean.
And gold.
Thank you, Brother Sean.
It puts this system out of business. Yeah, it does. And Kushner and Trump card, I call him Trumpy Dumpy.
Yeah, I like the Trump card.
Yeah, he got the higher hand on this because the system, the U.S., is really kind of like non-existent anymore because the money is where the power is, isn't it? And they got tons and tons and tons of gold to back their buying.
Okay, wait a minute now. You know I got to go in, and it's not on you personally. I'm finna go in on this motherfucking back by gold because I'm sick of bitches talking about it. Do folks not enter and overstand what the fuck the gold is talking? Go, back, go. Who gives a fuck? Don't you enter and understand? They've been motherfucking creating gold. They came up with a formula to mimic gold.
Alchemy.
So again, like Brother Sean is saying, it's the switcheroo. It's another program. That's all it is. So I'm not talking about the 95%. I'm on you 5 motherfucking percenters that will cut somebody's throat when they tell you not to get comfortable with no new system. I don't give a fuck if it's computerized. I don't give a fuck if it's backed by titanium. It's not real. It's all an illusion. It's unnatural. Within 5 weeks, you should have, you 5%. I'm on you 5%, motherfuckers. You should be and understanding what's really real and what's not real. It has been proven what's real. You are what's real. The fact that you can take your energy and touch a seed and put it in the dirt and watch it create to sustain you with food. Those are the things that are real. Your connection with the earth. You being the caretaker of the earth. That's what's real. Not a financial system that will never take care of you. It will never take care of you. It's not even going to sustain you. And if it does sustain you, it's going to be short-lived. So don't get fucking comfortable. I'm talking to you 5% who really think that new contract is around the corner And that's going to put you in a better situation. That's going to put you to be on top. You're still plugged into a program. If you can't rely on self to be a creator, I don't know what y'all don't get about that. They've been creating gold. William Cooper stated that in his book back up in the 70s. Diamonds. Most of the diamonds they're now manufacturing in the lab. Where it's hard for even the diamond people to look at them and match up what's coming out of the earth versus what they created in the lab. Yes, sir.
How about the fact that gold is a conductor of electricity? And they started putting gold, traces of gold within that currency. So when you sitting up holding them bills, passing them around instead of the other, how much of your energy is actually going off into that?
Absolutely.
Whose sigils and stuff are on it in order to collect the energy?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's after you've already weakened yourself by going out here being a fearful slave. You already weakened.
Yeah.
And then the fact that you do anything and everything for something that they've given you.
Right.
I mean, it's old and everything. That's a part of mama. It's always been here, always going to be here. It ain't going nowhere.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't be our focus. Just because it's quote-unquote gold back. We don't have the gold back, so what difference does it make what's gold back?
Right.
We ain't in control of none of that, and if you look back in history, our people wasn't killing each other over it.
No.
Nope.
It was everywhere. I mean, didn't nobody have to take nothing from each other?
Right.
I mean, that came in with the colonizational program, with the New World Order that they implemented.
Absolutely.
Started taking possession of things, mine. I got to have more than you.
Yeah.
My God said that I'm supposed to come take this from you because y'all don't deserve it.
Right.
You're too ignorant to keep it.
Y'all too nice and too loving. It just don't make no sense that y'all can just create all this shit and willingly share it with us.
Right.
So fuck that. We gonna kill y'all.
Exactly.
How dare you share with me? We were supposed to fight.
Exactly. And I dare you have nice things. I dare you know how to be in harmony and keep letting nature provide for you. I fucking dare you.
Exactly.
You mean you haven't excavated your land and dug up all the resources and tore down the trees and poisoned the water? I fucking dare you. Everywhere I go, I destroy. I fucking dare you be in tune.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the script.
Everything we needed was provided for us and within reach. We didn't have to do all that digging and this, that, or the other. All that came along with a different paradigm.
Absolutely.
Just like we're in a different shift now. And if people can't feel the energy to feel that something is different about everything that's going on, you're not in tune with anything.
Nope.
If you depending on what the media tells you or waiting for us to tell you some shit, you ain't in tune.
Agreed.
Your own DNA code should be unlocking. You should be getting information from your ancestors.
That's right.
I know it's a lot of shit that I can't and don't even think about giving receipts on because you can't go in my DNA. You can't go in the other realm with me and know what the fuck being told to me.
Absolutely.
And I'm just giving my perspective at that point. I'm not trying to have you live my perspective. I'm trying to help you realize yours, what your purpose is, what your journey is, what you're supposed to be doing. I'm doing my part. I just need y'all to do y'all part where y'all at.
Absolutely.
And we cover all this shit. So we can't be worried about the next man, next woman, this, that, or the other. As we see, it's only 1% of them that's doing all this shit. So all we need to focus on is being that 1% to make all the fucking difference.
Absolutely.
And it's already done. It's just a matter of you realizing and watching the manifestation on the physical. Because I'm not dependent on them. I'm not waiting on the goddamn thing. I'm watching. I'm present with what's going on. And I'm
you
just
better
waiting.
Believe it.
Pretty much it's a matter of everything that's going on is a sign of the times. That's why I'm watching. As you see how desperate they are. They know that the shit is up.
Right.
And right now, all they can do is fight with each other.
Exactly.
And we shouldn't be doing all this fighting with each other, all this debating, this, that, or the other. And those that keep up with that fuck shit, I think they are actually of the goddamn bloodlines.
I tend to agree, Brother Sean.
So that's why we can't get caught up in skin color. Because there's plenty of motherfuckers that look like us that ain't shit. They just as soulless as some of these other unnatural things. And if they ain't soul away, they don't want it back. They just want to rule.
Yep.
Anybody that's
grimy as fuck.
Yep, and they still talking about how everything is supposed to be their empire again, how the Moors did this and the Moors conquered that, the Moors.
Robert, did you pay any attention to Crimea?
Carameo, yeah. Go ahead, sis.
When he said that King James was known as the Duke of York.
Child, that wouldn't. So what does Duke of York you mean over here?
That's in England. He was known as the Duke of York in England. And over here, I guess, too, because he came over here.
Yeah,
He's the one who fought the Lancasters. Isn't that I think that's the 100-year War of the Roses, isn't it? I said, what?
It probably is, sis. It probably is. And I wasn't able to get through his entire video, so I didn't get to that part.
It was at about an hour, right into an hour.
Oh, then I missed it then. I'm going to have to go back then, because I know I got that far. I must have missed that part.
I had to go back on it, because I said, are you kidding me? That's who he is. The one that took down anybody's ancestor who had anything to do with that throne today. He took down Edward the Fourth. Edward the Fourth, who was the rightful heir of the throne. He took him down.
But even then, with them with them fighting way back up in the day, they were still family.
Well, maybe they were.
They were still family by marriage and all of that motherfucking jazz. So nothing like we said, the script has not changed. It hasn't changed. None of that stuff is set up to benefit you.
No. Matter of fact, he came over here to take us down because he knew.
All right then. A speciality. Slave trading Duke of York was King James. Baby, tell it.
Yeah,
Slave trading Duke of York was King James, and people was pissed at a sister when I ate that motherfucker alive on the black nobility.
That's exactly who he was.
I told you they was grimy than the motherfucker. I ain't giving them no pass. I'm not fucking impressed that they were melanated, that they ruled the throne. I know what it is.
Took the throne. They weren't the rightful rulers of that throne either. Like they did.
The point being, let's back up. Let's be clear, because I ain't giving none of them motherfuckers a pass. Because they took it from the indigenous people.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I mean.
Whoever the fuck he took it from, it wasn't rightfully his either. God damn it.
Well, our people were high people. They have chiefs and kings and all that kind of stuff. They, the Indians had that hierarchy too.
I'm not talking about that. I am talking about the black nobility that ruled those kingdoms. They took it by fucking force from the indigenous people.
Oh, exactly.
So I don't give a fuck who took over who. They all rotten to the goddamn core. They took it from the indigenous people.
Frank, I'm saying the same thing you're saying. I think so. Yeah, I was like, oh, he's the one who stole it from the people. The Duke of York, and then put them in slavery. Sure
Child, that's all you're going to constantly hear about, not hear about, when you research that stuff, them stealing from each other. And so, again, how has that program changed? It ain't changed. They stealing from people, and the shit don't belong to them no way.
Yeah, well,
it don't belong to them. It's not to be owned.
Yeah, he said it in the tape. His video.
Now I got to go back and rewind. How the hell I missed that? I must have got distracted. I got to go back to that. But yeah, I ain't impressed with none of that bullshit, and I don't give a damn about people getting in their feelings. Because they're melanated people that was on some grimy shit. It is what it is.
Pretty bad. Yep. They had rumors about all kinds of stuff trying to break down people's...
Yeah, Scotty, fucked with the witches and stuff. Them indigenous witches was scared of them. Had to put them down.
Go in there and call rumors that they're witches and they slept with this person, that one, and then that's how they break down the unit in the places that they take over. It's just like the Jesuits go into Ghana, or the Congolese wars was caused by the Jesuits doing the things and blaming it on the Watutsis or whatever they fought with. Yeah.
But here's the key though, and I'm glad that Scotty brought that up about the witches and demonology, and he's dropping in the chat, watch Luna Nera on Netflix, because Brother Sean and I done took and told y'all where the real power is. It's within you, your connection to the vibration and the spiritual realm. Do you understand how powerful that is for a king to be so fucking frightened that they strike up a campaign to put witches down? That shit is powerful. It proves where the real power is. It already proves it. It keeps proving it over and 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 over again. All right, let me bring on 310. I know you so sick of us running our doggone mouth. I apologize, Sweet Pea. Let me bring you on.
No.
Peace and love, 310.
Peace and love, family. Sister Rhonda, Sister Sharon, and Brother
Sean. Mm-hmm.
Sean. I forgot that quick. But anyways, no, you guys got good information, good topics, so I enjoy it. So I'm sitting back here laughing. But first of all, I was going to say I'm glad they shut down everything too. I'm like, I don't care, because I wonder why they didn't do it a long time ago. I got sick of them with all
Girl,
this.
we've been waiting. We've been those that have
always sick.
Exactly.
Yes.
We've been waiting fucking years. We've been waiting years.
Yeah. I said they just shut the whole thing down. It ain't doing nothing for me anyway. And like you say, I'm a realtor, so I used to work in this office where this the realtor, his sister, you know, a little young girl, like a couple of years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, she went to college, so she was up north, and she was coming back telling how they made, you know, she said, oh, we just literally made money out of thin air because we get on the phone and tell people we want to sell you this blah, blah, blah for, you know, like $900 or whatever, and the people go buy that stuff, you know. So I was like, wow. She came back telling all that stuff, how she they sell stuff for $900 and out of thin air. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and then there's a lot of people, you know, they don't want to work for themselves. I remember when I used to work in corporate, you know, you have like multiple level marketing, and you had people who would ask them to go like, okay, you can get this and pay this amount, and it was working. You know, it'd be working, and you like just need to bring some people that they never had time for that. No, they were afraid they're gonna lose their job. Oh, you know, I mean, I've tried thousands of multi-level marketing. Some worked, some didn't, but I did make money. But if you bring more people, the more people you got your own business. Then you don't have to work for anybody else. People couldn't even see that. Hello?
Yeah, I was shaking my head. You couldn't see me shake my head. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is, sis. It's just the bottom line is the dependency. It's the dependency, and I'm even okay if people have to go to a 9 to 5 to feed their family. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I understand it. But the pure fact that you're waiting on someone to save you, that's what's very dangerous. Depending on somebody to feed you. If something jumps off, you don't have no backup plan, none of that. That's just, yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it was always crazy. I mean, it was good ones out there. I mean, they could have made all kind of money. But even if I had a 9 to 5. But even if you have a 9 to 5, you got to get something on the side. That way, it'll move you out of that 9 to 5.
The side hustle, as we called it back up in the day.
And then you got them
your side
talking about $1,200 stimulus. I told them, I know, because, see, I'm on a fixed income anyway. So I know they wasn't going to, I haven't worked in a while, so I don't care. And somebody sent me a link, said, go on the internet and fill this out, blah. I'm like, no, I'm not filling out nothing. I don't want their money. They need to pay me all the stuff they ripped off from me years and years ago. That's all I want.
Right. Because that $1,200 is an insult. You know, now if you need it, I'm not trying to down you if you need it. Yeah, if you need it, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to down you if you need the little $1,200. All I'm saying is just look at it for what it is at a minimum. Put your doggone energy on it. Put your energy on it of what that $1,200 really means to you at a minimum.
That's why I always got a job. I didn't care nothing about people like, oh, they want to be on welfare, this and that. I'm like, I don't want nobody telling me how to spend my money, when I can spend it, and where I can go, and how I can go. And you can't. No, that's too controlling. You can't. No, don't control me.
Yeah. Who your old man is? What your old man make? Nah, baby, I can't do it.
Me either. I could never do that. I would never do it. I'm like, no, go get me a job. Go to work.
I can't do it.
I'm not letting nobody control me.
Exactly, I can't do it. And they act like, you know what I'm saying, that they really laying you out in the laps of luxury. You starving to death messing with them, and they still making you jump through hoops.
Anyway.
No, I can't do it.
I can't
even do it, player.
I never did it. I always went and got a job. Like, no, let me go work for myself. I don't need nobody trying to do it.
Yeah, I can't even do it, player. Can't even do it. So. But great.
They couldn't afford me.
Exactly. Exactly. Them Roman noodles they dishing out. I can't even do that one, player. I can't even do it. So, well, great hearing your voice, 310, and please come back and join us. Get in the queue.
Okay. All righty.
All right, my dear. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
All right.
Peace and love.
All right, family. Yeah, it's just a hot mess. That stuff is just flat out crazy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis.
Not to disrespect anybody who has to go that route, to get, welfare or whatever, food stamps, but just don't make it your home if you do that. Make yourself and not let them people be yourself. I'm sorry, go ahead, sis. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I forgot, but you go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you break your train of thought. But you know what was deep to me, sis, when they had shut the schools down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the governors, I don't know about every state, but the governor had to turn around, and I don't know if they still doing this, turn around and have the schools still feed lunch to the children because they weren't sure if the children would be able to eat. Do you know how that just fucked me all the way up? When I tell you I was fucked all the way up, I'm like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me that people are depending on the schools for one of their babies' meals? That shit, it fucked me all the way up. I'm not finna lie. Now, I don't know if they still doing it, because at one point they were like, the parents going to have to, I think they had to wind up start coming in and picking up the meals or something. But I was just all the way fucked up. I'm like, that's some heavy dependency.
Wow.
It's still going on.
Okay, I wasn't for sure, Brother Sean. That shit fucks me all the way up.
Yeah, I mean, you have to realize for a lot of people, school is the daycare and everything. School is everything.
Well, the government they get paid for your kids' attendance. Maybe they fed them because they're going to get some money off of it. Federal funding.
They're going to get some money off of it, but they got to do something with their food, though, anyway, because it's already paid for.
True. That's true. I hadn't thought about that. But even with both of those factors in play, you think just the fact that parents have to, or they think they have to, depend on a fucking school to feed your baby? That shit is deep to me. And I'm sorry, ain't nobody told you parents that you got to feed them no filet mignon, no motherfucking McDonald's and all that shit. This is where the old school Big Mama wisdom come into play. And was the reason why I played the Spinners Sadie at the beginning of the show. Because Big Mama and them gone. And these young mothers, you mean to tell me you don't know how to put on a motherfucking pot of beans? And some goddamn rice? Shit, you can have rice for breakfast, put some motherfucking butter and sugar in that bitch, have it for lunch, have it for dinner. I'm just blown away. That shit fucked me all the way up. And it ain't even like the food that these babies are getting in the school is nutrition. It's not even nutritionist. That's how deep the dependency is. to me. It really, really, really is deep. This should be a huge wake-up call. A huge wake-up call. And Big Mama and them didn't fucking play that. They had their garden, they canned, and if you lived in the country, she had the motherfucking chickens in the yard. She had the motherfucking pigs. You got your eggs, everything from that farm. Only thing that she didn't have, if you didn't have a bunch of space, she would go up the block or whatever and go in on a cow with somebody. So you barely went to the grocery store. I mean, when you went to the grocery store, it was a fucking treat. We have gotten so far away from that.
You know that
it's literally scary.
The meat supply is in jeopardy too, and especially pork.
Yeah. I was just telling this sister today that because she said, "Oh, you got everything you need." I said, "Yeah, I'm straight." And she said, "Well, what about your meat?" I said, "Well, I'm not really a meat eater." Yeah, and she said, "Yeah, I got to go fill my mom's fridge, her freezer rather, with some meat." And I said, "Well, sis, you know, when you do that, I'm just here to let you know they shut down that meat packing plant because a bunch of folks had got Rona." What? I said, "Yeah." I said, "So if you gonna go get the meat," I said, "at a minimum, you should be soaking your meat in apple cider vinegar and water and your fish in salt water." And she looked at me like, whoa. Again.
And the pork, even the pork, the pigs are getting it.
Yeah, that's why I told her, you know, all of it. I consider that meat as well. Yeah, but my point being, that's how dependent folks have become on this system. So wait a minute. And to show you how cold they with the shit now, how cold they with it, because you know they are destroying acres and acres of vegetables. Hear me clearly and look it up. I'm not making this bullshit up. Us gardening people are fucking disgusted to the core. They are destroying acres of food, vegetables, the shit that you really need, the vegetables, the fruit, corn, because they have contracts with the government and them that they can only sell to restaurants. And because there is not a demand for restaurants, because, you know, they pretty much shut down whatever the case may be, they are fucking destroying the food. I am not making it up.
I mean, people can be starving.
Acres and acres and acres of food. They are showing it. They are fucking destroying it. And they're not even legally allowed to give it the fuck away. And, of course, some of them are sneaking and giving it away, and shout out to them that are doing that. The food banks, I forgot what state this was. They show people, it was like a traffic jam, family. People trying to go to food banks. And the food banks are in short supply. Because there's acres and acres and acres of food being destroyed. So that's telling you, family, that it's going to be a food shortage. That's telling you, family, that there's going to be inflation. There's about to be hyperinflation.
Yeah.
So, depending upon where they got them seeds from, maybe a lot of that shit need to be fucking destroyed anyway, because it probably ain't fucking natural.
Could be. I agree with that, Brother Sean.
Yeah.
I agree with it, but the point even being, shit, even the GMO shit is destroyed. And I done told you, the little organic people, they shit is sold out.
Yeah, but see, that's where it comes back in as far as being back in tune with mother. Like our brother
I totally agree.
Bringing up about the weeds and this, that, and other. There's still so much shit growing naturally that's edible, but we just ain't in touch with mama to know what's what. And we ain't got nobody to blame for that but ourselves.
Absolutely.
That brother should have ran out, pulled them dandelions out of that field, and then dehydrated them and saved them.
But what just really fucked me up, though, Sean, I pretty much knew for 2 years to really get into my seeds. I knew for 2 years. I was already told spiritually for 2 years. I said it on the air. I personally reached out to people. I fucking personally reached out to people. Get you some seeds. You could put it in the freezer, this, that, and the third, this, that.
Get your dehydrator. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that too. That too. So the point being, because what I was getting was that it's going to be the people that are into the natural, holistic stuff that's going to be the ones replenishing. That's the message I got. And I said, and I'll say again, that it's going to get so deep that this the food and all that is only going to grow for certain people. It's going to be based on your vibration. And it's going to be based on your vibration whether or not you can consume it. I've said that consistently for 2 years.
It's true.
So yeah, it's quite deep. I'm sorry, go ahead, sis.
Said this is going to make the Depression of 1929 look like a picnic. I said, oof.
Well,
people don't know how to cook. People don't know how to cook either to make things last, because those people in 1929, they were in soup lines, but if they had vegetables and they knew how to cook it, they could, extend it, but they didn't have nothing. So
well, if you was Big Mama and them,
yeah, we did.
You had what the hell you needed, because I am fortunate enough that I had grandmothers who lived through that era.
I think I did. No.
So I was, fortunate enough to sit at their feet and watch them put meals together. I was fortunate enough to be in the garden with my grandmothers. So I fucking understood it quite clear.
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate enough to experience those things, and I now realize I experienced them for a reason. And it never left me. None of that stuff never left me. Canning, none of that. Matter of fact, I was slipping because my motherfucking ass should have been canning. And dehydrating stuff and all of that.
You know what they did to us?
So I was fortunate enough to sit at my granny and them, Big Mama and them feet. Sorry, go ahead on, sis.
You know what they did with California, though? Because California is the food bed, right? For the whole nation, pretty much. They stopped the rain. So this became drought central. And they put us in drought for 7-8 years or so, severe drought, which regulated the water. So for people who like to garden and the farmers who like to, have to sell their crops, they weren't getting the water. So that's what they did to California.
Well, I do know with Cali, and you're right, it's a lot of food come out of Cali. Matter of fact, Cali supplied China them funk ass food as well, because China bought up a lot of land in Cali. But I do know just from being in the gardening world and subscribing to people's YouTube channels, shit, let me tell you something. People that got their own personal garden, they wasn't impacted by that bullshit.
Yeah,
they cranking that shit out in Cali, in Cali's backyard, and Las Vegas, in Arizona. I'm talking personal gardeners that feed their fucking family for the most part out of their garden.
Yeah, they have
hydroponics. It is the fact that if you depend on a wide system, you're setting yourself up. And we done got even so trifling with the shit. We don't even depend on the local farmers. We don't even depend on them. Because, I don't want to spend that money, so I'm going to go to Walmart. I had somebody crack it up today. I was like, yeah. No, I'm not going up at Walmart. Shit, I might as well bust up in this motherfucking CDC and rub Rona all up in my motherfucking nostrils and throat. Versus going up in that bitch. We have gotten so far that we would prefer to go get Walmart and them they little funk ass change instead of spending a few extra coins to support your local farmer. Save your seeds with the stuff that you like to grow and you feel confident of growing, and grow the shit yourself. Again, this shutdown should be a huge awakening. And it was a huge awakening for a lot of people. A lot of people that was in that 95% category, a lot of them got it. A lot of them got it.
Yeah, they cleaned out the markets in the stores. They got it. But, they didn't leave nothing for no one else, but they got it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, family. So we at 10:28. I'm Rom. So we're going to get into a little bit of how white folk came on the come up. So I'm in White Trash, a 400-year untold history and class in America by Nancy Eisenberg. Pedigree and poor white trash. Bad blood, half-breeds, and clay eaters. Everywhere they are just alike. Possesses pretty much the same characteristic, the same vernacular, the same boorishness, and the same habits. Everywhere, white trash. Now, before I get into this, y'all gonna crack up. And I know I ain't the only one that's seen this hot fuck of a mess. Baby, let me tell you. Everybody kept talking about this Netflix series, Tiger King. Because I would see it come across my feed. I'm like, I'm not watching that bullshit. They're like, no, I'm telling you. If you want to laugh, you really want to get one off, go on and watch it. Baby, that shit was a hot mess. A hot mess with a capital H. A hot mess. So I immediately thought back to this whole thing about white trash. Because, baby, if they don't fit the bill, hot motherfucking mess. So anyhow, here we go. The sectional crisis that led to America's Civil War dramatically reconfigured the democratic language of class identity. So did you all catch that? The American Civil War, or America's Civil War, dramatically reconfigured the democratic language of class identity. Now, we done took and told y'all, as we went through the Black Nobility series, that New World Order was being instituted when the Black nobility was being removed from the seat of power, and mixed heritage, which they call mulattoes, and white folks were being put in the seat of power, okay? So these wars that took place, the American Civil War was to free, and our boy Carameo knocked that out too in his video he just did as well. So I highly encourage you to go on and listen to that. All right? It was, people think that it was to free African slaves. No, Bobo. It was for the come up for folks to come out of perpetuate indentured servitude. Because indigenous folk, oh damn, Brother Sean done dropped. Indigenous folk and the melanated Europeans held indentured servants, which they renamed slaves. They held melanated indigent servants and they held Caucasian indigent servants. So the American Civil War, and it was very little Africans, okay? The Civil War was about freeing those indentured servants out of those contracts, all right? And it was more Caucasians in indentured servitude, all right? So her statement talking about the crisis that led to America's Civil War dramatically reconfigured the democratic language of class identity. The lowly squatter remained the focus of attention, but his habitat had changed. He was now singularly a creature of the slave state. The terminology for poor Southern whites changed too. Neither squatter nor cracker was the label of choice anymore. All right? So again, y'all, blew my wig back where that term cracker had came from. Because had we not done this series, I would have swore that some melanated people done came up with it. I was blown back to know that that was just common back up in the day to describe poor indentured servant white folk. All right? So dirt poor Southerners living on the margins of plantation society became even more repugnant as sandhillers and pathetic self-destructive clay eaters. It was at this moment that they acquired the most enduring insult of all: poor white trash. The Southern poor were not just lazy vagrants. Now they were odd specimens in a collector's cabinet of curiosities, a diseased breed, and the degenerate spawn of a notorious race. A new nomenclature placed the lowly where they would become familiar objects of ridicule in the modern age. Okay, so now we know when that term "poor white trash" came into play after the Civil War. Though white trash appeared in print as early as 1821, the designation gained widespread popularity in the 1850s. The shift seemed evident in 1845 when a newspaper reported on Andrew Jackson's funeral procession in Washington City. As the poor crowded along the street, it was neither cracker nor squatter lining up to see the last hurrah of Old Hickory. Instead, it was po white trash who pushed the poor colored folk out of the way to get a glimpse of the fallen president. Now I'm finna take a sip of my water. I want to refresh folk memory. Remember we said, not we said, I don't want to put that up on us. The author said that they call Andrew Jackson tawny, right? Tawny means black, right? That's not what we said. That's what the definition of it is. So you can certainly look that up yourself. We also read what the author said they called Jackson's old lady a fat black wench, which that's motherfucking fighting words. Motherfucking who you calling fat shit. But anyhow, okay? So now she's saying that when old boy had passed away, Andrew Jackson, that I'm going to read it again because I don't want y'all to feel I'm putting words up in the author's mouth. All right, so it says, let's see. As the poor crowded along the street, it was neither crackers nor squatters lining up to see the last array of Old Hickory. Instead, it was po white trash who pushed the poor colored folk out of the way to get a glimpse of the fallen president. So why would colored folk be lined up to see a motherfucking white man? And why would she have to point that out? That white folks pushed the black folks out the way to see Old Hickory.
So, what was it, 1850?
Let me see. 1845, yep, 1845.
Mm-hmm. We been gone to colored, huh?
Oh, yeah, she said colored. Yeah.
Been gone to colored in 1845.
Right.
Man, we got a lot of changes in our names, don't we? Exactly. So, what made the ridicule breed so distinctive? Its ingrained physical defects and descriptions of the mid-19th century, ragged, emaciated sandhillers and clay eaters were clinically subject, the children prematurely aged and deformed with distended bellies. Observers looked beyond dirty faces and feet and highlighted the ghostly yellowish white ting to the poor white skin, a color they call tallow. Barely acknowledged as members of the human race, these oddities with cotton white hair and waxy pigmentation were classed with albinos. Oh, well, damn. Highly inbred, they ruined themselves through their dual addiction to alcohol and dirt. How the fuck you gonna be addicted to dirt? Now, if you're from the South, you do hear about people that eat that red clay. All right. And it's, also was said that pregnant women would crave that red clay, which, wasn't all of the pollution that we have today. So in their defense, I'm sure it was a lot of nutrients in the clay, and especially if they were starving. So in their little defense, but here we go. In the 1853 account of her travels in the South, Swedish writer Fredrika Bremer remarked that in consuming the unctuous earth
clay eaters were literally eating themselves to death. White trash Southerners were classified as a race that passed on horrific traits, eliminating any possibility of improvement of social mobility. If these Night of the Living Dead qualities were not enough, critics charged that poor whites, I have to use this, y'all, so I'll stop losing my place. Critics charged that poor whites had fallen below African slaves on the scale of humanity. They marked an evolutionary decline, and they foretold a dire future for the Old South. If the whites produced feeble children, how could a robust democracy thrive? If whiteness was not an automatic badge of superiority, a guarantee of the homogeneous population of the independent, educatable freemen, as Jefferson imagined, then the ideals of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness were unattainable. All right? So in other words, if we can't get these white Southerners, white po trash, them to get their shit together, how are they gonna outdo all of these freedmen running around? All of these freed men, melanated people, all right? Including Africans, including melanated Europeans, including the indigenous people of the land, the melanin indigenous people of the land. Jefferson's language of upward mobility had lost ground in the antebellum South. Jacksyism celebration of the intrepid backwoodsman faded from view as well. By the 1850s, in the midst of fierce debates over slavery and its expansion into the West, poor whites assumed a symbolic role in sectional arguments. Northerners, especially those who joined the Free Soil Party 1848 and its successor, the Republican Party 1854, declared that poor whites were proof positive of the dilapidating effects of slavery on free labor. Right? So once again, they're saying they wanted no part of slavery. All right? Because if folk working for free, then you can't get no value in hiring folk to work for a salary, and then white folks ain't never gonna come up. All right? So, all right, let me see here. A slave economy monopolized the soil while closing off opportunities for non-slaveholding white men to support their families and advance in a free market economy. Okay, so now remember, we are in 1853. Slavery ended in 1865. That's what they say. All right? Slavery crushed individuals' ambition, inviting decay and death, and draining vitality from the land and its vulnerable inhabitants. Poor whites were the hapless victims of class tyranny and a failed democratic inheritance. As George Weston wrote in his famous pamphlet, The Poor Whites of the South, 1856, they were sinking deeper and more hopelessly into barbarism with every succeeding generation. Pro-slavery Southerner folks took a different ideological turn, defending class station as natural. Conservative Southern intellectuals became increasingly comfortable with the notion that biology was class destiny. All right, and then also just to note on that, you have to look at Europe class system. All right, so they really just brought that same ideology over to the Americas. In his 1860 social relations in our southern states, Alabamian David Hundley denied slavery's responsibility for the phenomenon of poverty, insisting that poor whites suffered from a corrupt pedigree and cursed lineage. Class was congenial, he believed, and he used the clever analogies of runtage forefathers and consumptive parents to explain away the plight of impoverished rural whites. For Hundley and many others, it was bloodline that made poor whites a notorious race. Bad blood and vulgar breeding told the real story of white trash. Hundley's ideology appealed broadly. Many Northerners, even those who opposed slavery, saw white trash Southerners as a dangerous breed. No less an anti-slavery symbol than Harriet Beecher Stowe agreed with the portrait penned by Harvard-educated future Confederate Hundley. Though she became famous and infamous for her best-selling anti-slavery novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin, 1852, Stowe's second work told a different story. In Dread, A Tale of the Great Dismal Swamp, 1856, she described poor white trash as a degenerate class prone to crime, immorality, and ignorance. Who they saying that about today? That's interesting.
That's us. You said Harriet Beecher Stowe?
Let me go back up, sis.
That was Harriet Beecher
Stowe. Yes, ma'am. Harriet Beecher Stowe. Yep.
So, I thought that's what she's famous for. Okay. I hear her name, on Jeopardy and stuff like that. I don't know any of her work.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So when you were saying that,
that's
I thought,
interesting.
Is that the book she wrote?
Right. North Carolinian Hinton Rowan Helper published The Impending Crisis of the South, 1857, which many considered the most important book of the 19th century. He sold over 140,000 copies, making his the most popular expose of slavery oppression of poor whites. Right? So once again, this is hidden history. They sitting up telling you that it was a bunch of African slaves, but yet folks back up in the 1800s writing books about white indentured servants, white slavery, all of that. Okay, Helper South was a cesspool of degradation and ignorance, and poor white trash a dwarfed, duped, and sterile population bound for extinction. Well, damn. In this and other ways, the ambiguous language of class crossed the Mason-Dixon line and bound political opponents in surprising ways. We are taught that the Civil War was principally a contest about the sustainability of a world predicated on black enslavement. Go on, baby, goddammit, go on, girl, tell it. We are not told the whole story. Then, because social insecurities and ongoing class tensions preoccupied the politicized population too, and exerted a real and demonstrable impact on the fraction nation before, during, and after those 4 concentrated years of unprecedented bloodletting. Poor whites were not simply a danger of the integrity of the Old South. The unloved class conjured a special fear that they would spread their unique contagion into the vast domain of the West. In a remarkable short period of time, the United States swelled by 800 million acres, right? So we know how they swelled by that 800 million acres, taking people's shit, the indigenous people's shit. But anyhow, nearly 250 million acres alone came in 1845, here go you, sis, with the Texas annexation. That year, the dark horse Democrat James K. Polk captured the presidency, mainly because he embraced an overtly aggressive course of expansion. Right? So isn't that also how Andrew Jackson got into office, that he was able to put down them Indians to secure that Ohio territory? Right, but anyhow, besides welcoming welcoming Texas, I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, sis.
They're doing the annexation of Texas at that time in 1845, right? So
yeah.
So he spoke their language of fighting and taking and squatting, obviously.
Obviously.
Andrew Jackson spoke squatters' language and taking.
Right. Besides welcoming Texas, Polk promised he would provoke hostilities if Great Britain did not concede to America its claim on the Oregon territory. Polk averted war with Britain, grudgingly accepting partition of Oregon along the 49th parallel where it stands today. All right, so there you go. That's how Oregon got its borders. As if the acquisition of land was insufficient for the young Hickory, the second president from Tennessee, y'all are some motherfuckers, boy. The second president from Tennessee reverted to his mentor's successful rationale. Andrew Jackson had used a broader skirmish in Spanish Florida as a pretext to launch a war of conquest. Now Polk employed the same method to invade Mexico. When the ink dried on the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848, Polk had acquired what would become the states of California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico, plus portions of Colorado and Wyoming.
Wow.
I know, ain't this shit deep? Democrat President Franklin Pierce added to Polk's booty in 1854 when he secured the so-called Gaston Purchase, a strip of land tacked on to the southern edge of New Mexico territory. This last investment had been vigorously urged on by alluring gamble of building a transcontinental railroad to advance southern cotton interests. All right, so we're going to stop there.
So that's when they bring the Chinese.
And we're going to pick back up. Yeah, this shit, y'all, and this fuckery. So, we're going to get back up in that. So now we up in the West. so that's your peak, sis.
So Texas, which is where my people are from, was under. Yeah, see, they kind of rubbed me raw.
I knew it was coming. I'm like, that's your peak, sis. Exactly.
Them folks was rubbing the Apaches raw. And Apaches was fighting.
Right.
Yes, indeedy. So, what was it called, New Mexico at that time? Or is that the New Mexico they got now? I wonder.
I think that's the New Mexico they got now. They funk asses, yeah. Yeah.
So,
all right, sis. Because we got only 4 minutes. You got any last words for the family?
Well, just we're going to get on the roller coaster and watch it roll, huh? Because this ride is interesting. You got to learn how to do self-preservation and take care of yourself, and don't depend on this government because they can't sustain themselves anymore, and they're planning on closing intermittently every few months for 18 months. So you guys need to wake up.
Exactly. Get your shit together. Absolutely. Absolutely, sis. So, absolutely. So, family, thank you all again. Thank you to the family callers. Thank you to the YouTube family. We will be back next week. I wish everyone well. Peace and love. So, YouTube family, we are going to rock out with some music, so I got to let y'all go. So, peace and love. Okay?